Hey guys, so Canada has done everything they can at this point to stop the Freedom Convoy. And there's a lot that we have to learn and take in and talk about because of this. You see, it was always taken, everyone used to give me crap being, America's not the only free country. And why do you guys talk about your First Amendment and your Second Amendment and all this so much? Nobody's trying to take away your guns. Nobody's trying to keep you from speaking. Nobody's trying to this. Nobody's trying that. And now we start seeing that, yes, no, this is actually a real thing. We've seen this with Australia. We're seeing it with Canada. In these places, they don't have it in their constitution like we have it here, to where they have an unrestricted freedom of speech, no matter what. Okay, it's more of an implied freedom of speech. A lot of the liberties are more implied, and there's certain loopholes within their governments that allow them to stop things like freedom of speech under certain circumstances, which is a very dangerous thing. And we're seeing with the protests up there, them trying to prevent a peaceful protest, because that's all it was. A bunch of trucks honking their horns is not violent. Okay, it's nowhere near the fires and riots that we have here in America for other things. But, we're seeing private citizens of Canada getting arrested just for transporting fuel, or, having their cars impounded for having fuel cells. And coming from construction, a lot of us have slip-in fuel cells in our trucks to transport fuel. So we're seeing private property be confiscated. We're seeing bank accounts just being turned off and seized with no due process. We're seeing the people's voice just be completely silenced, and people's lives being ruined over what was essentially just a peaceful protest. And we really have to take that into consideration, that it is a slippery slope. It doesn't take much. They banned, their assault rifles and, their weapons, and then all of a sudden they start deciding which speech can be said and which speech can't be said. They start confiscating private property and seizing bank accounts. This is the one reason why we always stood up against the whole global banking system. The fact that they can just be like, oh no, I don't like what you have to say, and they just turn off your bank account. They just shut your whole life down. That's a really scary thought. Who gets to decide who gets to speak and who doesn't? Whose voice gets to be heard and whose voice doesn't? This is a very, very scary moment right now. It's a very slippery slope, and we have to be aware of it. Tell me what you think, guys. Like and subscribe.